Hey YouTube, just gonna do a little resupply video again. I did one yesterday for my rifles, and I was lucky enough to also resupply for my 45 yesterday. I'm gonna do a little video on this ammo, talk about the gentleman I met through Blade forums, who was kind enough to sell me this ammo, what the deal he did, and just my opinion of gun guys. I'm gonna have a little rant on this one. You know, after you guys hear the deal, feel free to not listen if you don't want to hear it, but those of you who have been listening and following the channel and tolerating my incessant complaining and ranting, I just say thank you in advance. So I'm perusing the forum 2 nights ago, and I see a guy has 45 ammo on there. Posts on there that he sold his 45, doesn't need the ammo anymore, looking to sell it, great prices, and that he's also interested in trading out for 9mm. I thought, man, I wish the guy was near me. I think I'd buy that ammo. Next thread underneath it said, "Where in Michigan are you?" And so I sent him a response telling him where I was. And we were able to get a deal together. He turned out he was looking for 9mm ammo. And I had 100 rounds of Hydra-Shock, law enforcement Hydra-Shock, that I don't even own a 9mm anymore, and a mixed bag of Winchester white box. So he had this up for like $175. And I met up with him. He took $100 for it and my 9mm off me. And he gave me 5 boxes of Blazer, a box of American Eagle, 4 boxes of Winchester white box. This one's got a couple weirdo rounds in it, not sure what they are. And 3 boxes of Hydra-Shocks with 4 stragglers. There were leftovers out of his carry guns mag. Great deal. $100 in ammo. I'd spent $30 on that Hydra-Shock ammo for 100 rounds a long time ago when a buddy of mine had brought a bunch of it over and wanted to fire my 38. I bought 2 boxes of 38 at $15 a piece, and he gave me those 2 boxes of Hydros. So it was a great deal to me. I sent him a message later telling him how happy I was with the deal. I was very happy to have met him. I thought he was a nice guy, and thank you for taking the time to meet up with me and give me such a fine offer and such a deal on these rounds. He sent back a message saying that he was extremely satisfied with the deal as well. He was happy to meet me as well. He told me where part of the neighborhood he's in Michigan, and that if I'd like, I could come out and shoot at his father's personal range. That they have a nice setup out there, usually more fun when it gets over 40 degrees. I agree with you. It's fun when it's cold sometimes, but if you want to really stay a day and plink, more than 40 degrees makes it a bit nicer. Especially there's always wind when it's below 40. So that's the deal. Those of you who want to see the deal, that's it. Now I'm going to probably rant a little bit. So feel free to turn it off. And otherwise, I kind of want to talk to everybody about taking care of each other. I met this dude on the forums 2 days ago. We're strangers. And the next day, he's inviting me over to his dad's house to go shooting. Because that's how gun guys are. That's how knife guys are. That's how sportsmen are. Hunters. Hikers. Not so much hikers. Campers. Guys who get out and enjoy themselves. Spend a little time in the wild. Learn to make a fire. And guys who want to pass it on to their kids, the knowledge and things that they've learned. I can't think of anyone who falls into any of those categories that I have ever met in my 36 years that was not a decent human being, wasn't willing to share a meal with you when you walk by their campfire, a hunting spot, a fishing spot, a story, or especially a beer. Liberals and all the weirdos can say what they want, think what they want, and they do whatever the hell they want anyways. But the fact remains that the people like us are not as they paint us to be. But it can be easily misinterpreted by people who don't know what it's like to have been brought up with these things in your life. Who didn't have a father that hunted deer, or a cousin that hunted duck, or buddies that hunted squirrel that you went out with. Without that in their lives, it's easy to think the gun is the bad guy, not the guy holding the gun, that the TV is right, that the news is telling the truth, and so on and so forth. And it's easy for us to forget that these people didn't have these things and chastise them or make fun of them when they're making mistakes because they play too much Call of Duty or Modern Warfare, whatever those are. A lot of these kids have never seen a real gun, and they've only fired them through their PlayStation. They don't know that my ACR can't shoot down a high-end helicopter. They think that it'll shoot through a cinder block 17 times over and then through a SAMI plate and knock a guy clear through a tank. Hey, that would be sweet, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't. If it did, I sure wouldn't need so much ammo. But we got to take care of these kids. Between me and my sons, I started late in life. I'm 36. They're infants, basically. There's a generation between us that if they're not hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, and the such, that it might not be around when my sons get there because legislation will be passed. We have to support these kids. Like when you see these guys at the gun shows, even though they look like punks or their pants are around their knees or whatever style it is anymore that you laugh at when you see these kids, or my favorite, the diaper jeans, the combination of the saggy drawers with the skinny jean bottoms that look like leggings, so it just looks like they got a loaded diaper. Yeah, I want to step on the loaded diaper part, knock them over, and kick them, because that's what a normal human being should feel like when they see kids wearing these pants. That's just my opinion, though. But the fact is they're just kids. That's the style. They don't know, and they think they look cool. They did leave the house thinking that looked good. That was the first mistake of the day. The second one shouldn't be that when they make an inquisition or pose a question about a 1911 or a Glock, that you chastise them because they don't know. What they should get is a helping hand, a teaching partner that will show them the ins and outs of the handguns, whatever type it may be, from breech loading muzzle loader, all the way up to 50 BMG Ma Deuce. If they have an inquiry and you know the answer, you should be helping them. If not, you should be giving them ideas where to get answers. These kids are the next generation. When you're 70 and you still want to own your gun and you want to go sit in your deer blind with a laser-guided crossbow, we might not be allowed to anymore if these kids don't get taught what to do and they start voting the other way. Because the opinions of guys like us have been made many decades ago, and with every new group of kids, they're more believed because there's less people out there doing what we do to instruct and show them otherwise, and less people fighting for our rights. Like knife rights just won a big deal again, and congratulations to those guys. I got to donate. You guys need to donate. I don't want to tell you what to do, but if you got $5, send $5. There's a lot going on, and to keep these rights and these liberties, we got to fight harder, because those 20 guys, these crazy liberal weirdos with the big deep pockets, they get heard better than us 20 million, because most of the time we don't speak up, and the rights are slowly getting eroded away. You got to leave it to the NRA and knife rights and organizations like that. They can't do it alone. They need our money, and that's hard enough in times like these, but even more so if it dwindles down to a few thousand guys with all the money in the world. Unless they're liberals, they're not going to get their agenda across. We got to start prepping next generation and the next generation, and as long as you're breathing, teaching the next guy how to do it, how to handle a gun, how to load a gun, how to fire a gun, how to be responsible with a gun, how to hunt with a gun, how to sharpen a knife. If you see these kids walking around, give them your old EDC blade. You make friends with one of these guys. If you got a 25-year-old guy at work and you're 40, he's a decent guy and he sees into a knife, you see he's got a cheap SWAT Smith & Wesson in his pocket, give him your old EDC. You got 7 in the drawer, I know you do. It's a sickness, man. You love it, you're never going to pick it up again because you're going to buy the next one next month or 6 months from now that you're going to carry forever. At least that's what you tell a wife, until you buy the next one. And you got a drawer full of them. Give them a decent blade and help them out. Get them started, get them interested. They'll buy more. They'll show their friends. They'll be interested. They'll buy more. They'll show their friends. That's what we got to do to keep this going. We got to keep this going. We got to treat it like the plague, and we got to be infectious. Otherwise, all this kind of stuff here, we're not going to be allowed to have it anymore. That's my rant, guys. Hope some of you made it to the end. If so, thank you. And everybody, stay safe and start teaching.